Hello there everyone and welcome back. My Battlebarge Mark II is finally level 4 and we are halfway to getting all the upgrades available to be unlocked. At least the two that I've unlocked as per upgrade in Carnell. I'm still wondering if I'm pronouncing his damn name properly. Ikariel? I am not certain, but either way, still a little bit of experimentation and to really understand what kind of upgrades I want on this thing. So I'm decided to go with just its focus on its durability and possibly its mobility to try and limit the amount of fire it'll have on placed upon is what I'm referring to, because originally rather, I want to have this be able to pair up with my vanguards, which at this point are all about the hit and run tactics, just harassing. Because there's no raw firepower to these things to even consider just keeping them in the fight. So they're served best at just harassing and just being annoying little flies, which means the Mark II is going to be taking the brunt of the damage, or so is my thought anyway. So it remains to be seen if these upgrades will actually give it the durability it desperately needs. I just need to play more matches with it to really know, but like I've been saying before, it has a really good record on its hands so far, so I'm hoping this can carry on. Well boy, this is a sight for sore eyes. 600 points there. Again, with these breakthrough assassination missions, I have no idea if he's actually a lower admiral level than me. So that could change things a little bit, because he could have bonus points for an actual extra cruiser there just about, and that kind of scares me a little bit. Although with a breakthrough and me being the attacker, I should be in good shape here, because he doesn't want this turtle, as much as I could tell, because standing by the beacons, just getting shot by boarding torpedoes is not going to go well for him. Although with that said, I'm still going to want to consider getting as many frigates as I can. I don't know if it's the proper way to go, but all I honestly know is that it's been working for me. Having lots of Gladiuses there with their extended range, their extra vision, or sensors rather, has been working really well for me there. And there's enough raw firepower in the Gladiuses at least that they can take out the beacons relatively well if he's just going to stay away from them. So I could still potentially break through. The scary thing, the really damn scary thing, now that I think of it, is I need 2 cruisers to even win this battle. And of course it forces me to pick 2 cruisers anyway, but does this mean I should consider a 3rd light cruiser, a 3rd vanguard to kind of cover all my bases? Because what am I sacrificing? Really? Just 2 Gladiuses, which isn't too bad? I don't know how I feel about this, especially since the Gladiuses aren't going to really do a whole lot of damage if I'm flying at them. This is treading on territory I do not feel comfortable with. But I like the extra security. Just a little bit maybe? Maybe I can use the Gladiuses instead as a shield. Kind of bait him to go after the vanguards and swarm with the Gladiuses. Probably not a good idea. It's what's been working for me until I get comfortable with how effective my frigates are against Eldar. Especially since I haven't really fought much of a Void Stalker, aside from my very first match, which was a weird one it felt like. I do not want to cut back on him just yet. Especially for a ship that is probably going to be very hit or miss if he does have a Void Stalker, because after all, my main weaponry on those vanguards is boarding torpedoes and Thunderhawks. Both of which are very, very susceptible to the bombers that he'll no doubt have for his battle cruisers even, and the Void Stalker. Now, how do I want to go about doing this? I could just fire boarding torpedoes right away, and from what I understand, the boarding torpedoes always seem to want to go to the right, so maybe I should start this way. But we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to circle to the left there some, and not go too straight forward, ideally. At least ideally. And then once I'm aware of his positioning, then I can consider how to follow up. And again, if I lose one of these light cruisers, this is already game over. So I gotta make these as hard to hit as possible. So, how do I want to do this? Do I go, since I know he's in the middle there, do I use the asteroid field? And he's also launching beacons, which, conveniently, I can dodge just by my turnaround tactic. And since I launched torpedoes, he could have a fair idea of which ones are my strike cruisers, so let's try to avoid shooting any more if I can help it. And of course, with how wide an arc I'm having, then I'm gonna have to kind of like do 2 rows, 2 columns essentially, to kind of like get through this asteroid field with my fleet intact, or at least in a good formation. And I don't have any. Oh, I actually do have beacons. I have one on my. This doesn't work very well. Oops, I accidentally launched my Stormhawks. It was the chaplain I was thinking of. Well, this works well for me. This works well for me indeed. Now, do I just beacon right away or not? I would like to get aggressive with them, but I do know one thing, and that he doesn't really have a lot of ships. Or he doesn't have like all battle cruisers and a battleship is what I'm trying to say, damn it, because I'm seeing 6 ships already. And let's see. I haven't been detected, so I could just fire freely. And preferably get this Gladius out of the asteroid belt. That might be a good idea too. Now, let's start unloading. And it helps if I lock on the right targets, because I accidentally locked on with one of my vanguards. And I don't think they need that right now. And these macro batteries actually can hurt, can they? Okay, they're just standard star cannon. For some reason I thought they were a lot more damaging. And potentially can still be. So, I'm looking at what seems to be Solaris's, if I had to place my bets on anything. So, Thunderhawks, I don't expect you to do much, but I want you to keep my dang frigates alive, ideally. If you could shoot them down, that'd be great. Although my frigate's not going anywhere fast. It only took barely 100 damage, though. That's not terrible. That isn't terrible at all, at least. I'm just burning a lot of my lock-on benefit. So, we got visual on a cruiser, or yeah, that's a regular cruiser, so no bombers and pulsars to worry about. And he did throw a beacon on me, and oh, those were my Thunderhawks. I was scared to death those were his. So, launch the bombers, if it register the actual attack order, and yeah, go figure. He sent him all after my vanguard. Not really surprised by that, but yeesh, even whip brace for impact, that was a brutal hit. That was a damn brutal hit, but that was a mess too. Okay, he's got the 75 armor there. I'm trying to get this dang Gladius, which conveniently I'm going to get a double ram. Okay, I'm wrong. I actually rammed my own Gladius. Of all the things, I had to ram my own Gladius. Because I'm okay with ramming his ships, actually. Because of his Eldar trait. That punishes him for ramming. So, brace for impact. Get boarding going. And if possible, just lock on with these things. No, that's not what I want, you damn things. Lock on. Yeah, as soon as this thing dies, it's over, so I gotta be careful. So you are getting the hell out. And why am I hearing supercharged? Oh, it's because of the dang beacons. That's why he has supercharged void shields. And things are exploding on me. Surprise, surprise. And if I can... There. That's what I'm talking about there. Let him focus on that ship while this thing gets the hell out. I think that's the best idea, because apparently he is giving up. Even though he was surprisingly close to winning, I'm not seeing anything going after this Vanguard, so... a little bit risky, needless to say. And it still can be risky. Now, lock on, do the damage. And I don't have a brace for impact, but I do have Thunderhawks to help shoot him down. If only a tiny bit. And now, let's just ram him. I like the idea of just ramming him. Let's get extra zealous with our perjury. Although I don't want to get too carried away, because yeah, he is going after that one cruiser. So, I can board it. He's flying asteroid field, which if he doesn't have the means to ignore the damage, then that is additional free hits. Nope, just extended sensors. Gotta be careful also in the dang asteroid field, but brace for impact's helping with that, in that regard. All lock-ons are expended. And once again, the gas cloud, he can't do crap. At least until he gets closer. Okay, so I'm in the clear. The light cruiser is still heavily damaged, so I'm not out of the woods yet, since I have no way to repair the ship. Now, where's the last one, or is that all of them? Nope, he has one more that he completely neglected. And now this is gonna hurt, isn't it? Even though with a brace for impact. Come on.
Show us the enemy.
I am good here. My repairs will soon come up, but I'm kind of forced to hang back because one random bomber can do work.
Moving to position.
And I want to punish him before his dang repairs come back up. Because I do have good range on these things, just not quite close enough. And if I silent run with this thing, maybe it's fine. So nerf. Oh, actually, I should be using boarding torpedoes. How silly of me. And I need to cancel that dang bombers, because they're gonna do work on. I burnt all my thrusters too, so that was a mistake. Oh, this would be a good opportunity to focus my damn fire too. So, because they're not shooting at the dang ship I want. So let's observe the change, shall we? Because, yeah, he's got 75 armor for that its duration, but he has no bombers, so he has, like, no real firepower just yet. I do lack my lock-on, though, which is unfortunate, but he already expended his 75 armor by just running away from me. Now, boosters are up. Let's get up close and personal and just murder him, since he refuses to run away. Although this is going to probably kill one of my dang frigates if I'm not careful. I should have just rammed them now that I think of it. Especially with torpedoes on my rear, good lord. That was suddenly dramatic when it didn't need to be. Although, all those torpedoes just hit, and now we're about to have 4 more hit his ass. You could still potentially kill these Gladiuses though if these torpedoes don't do work. Go for ramming speed, although he's going to easily boost, right? Nope, he's dead. That's game. That was risky, as I said before, but it ultimately paid off. Just those damn bombers and lack of Stormhawks, since I only have one wing of Stormhawks to really deal with his bombers, nearly cost me there. But, it's like I said, it seems to be a winning strategy. Although with him lacking favors and all that, it wasn't really a good representation of what I'm expecting to fight. We'll see. But I got my renown now. It just begs the question, do I go with the rotation speed or just, well, shield recharge, durability. I do have the micro warp jump at least currently to help with that. My mobility. And I have nothing else currently to really enhance my lances, which is the main weaponry, so I'll get the faster recharge for shields, get the maneuvering thrusters next, maybe. And then perfectly, if I get this to level 6, then I can double up on both the turbo weaponry range and the fall off, the targeting matrix. That combos well, I think. Especially since my macro batteries aren't exactly going to be useful at long range without them. Or without a lock on to boot. So, what? Let's see, oh, this is level 8, so I can actually start upgrading. Do I want to continue? Oh, this is my chaplain, so I don't need to upgrade my space range, you would think. So, actually, I can't see the buttons there. The one time I actually want to readjust my stand for my snowball, and I can't actually see the plus icons down at the bottom of the screen. This was not planned out very well. But one thing that is exciting that I'm just one damn renown point away from is possibly getting enhanced sensors on this Vanguard, and maybe switching back to the Stormhawks. So, we're making some progress on that. I still would like to get these strike cruisers to level 8 for their enhanced shields, maybe. So that way, that would hopefully do well for Novacans, although one thing I realize is with the upgrade to the Servitor there, they have just enough of a window with the Novacans is that they can shoot me again just seconds before my shield's fully recharged, so I do seriously wonder if the shield capacitor might be more useful. Although it sounds stupid considering it's only 100 shield health I'm recharging, whereas the extra 100 health to the shields would be better. So, in the end, I think I'll just stick with doubling up the shields for now. Just to see how it handles, how it performs. And then work from there. So what do we got? Another 600 point battle, so lower level. That I can say without a doubt. So, this will be an interesting question. Oh, it's 600 points anyway, so I couldn't get my strike cruisers even if I wanted to field my Mark II, which is what I was considering. And then I lack the firepower if I decide to go with the Vanguards to complement it. And since he's Space Marines, if he's using his strike cruisers, he has enough mobility and speed to kind of counteract my micro warp jump. So we'll stick with the traditional 600 point combo. It works out well with the Chapter Master. I am in good shape, I think, especially since I know he's lower level than me. The only big wild card is the bonus points, because I don't know if he's at 690 or 660. I don't know the exact translation on the points, so I'm left to wonder a little bit what he might have. It could be enough for him to get an extra cruiser of some kind there. Probably just barely not enough though. All I know is 60 to 90 points doesn't make much of a difference if he wants to get a frigate. Unless he could somehow get an extra 15 points for a second Gladius or Nova maybe. Otherwise it doesn't do him terribly much good aside for a hunter, I think. And I'm looking at 4 ships, so this is possibly looking like, okay, 6, so 7. So is it safe to say he is not fielding 4 strike cruisers unless he has the Lance variant, which is the only one that's like the 139 points, if I remember off the top of my head, of the strike cruisers. Because that seems too many ships to have a bunch of, like, 3 frigates. If he went with 4 strike cruisers, I would want to say he can only afford 2 with the bonus points he's having. Either way, let's just dodge this beacon, avoid some boarding torpedo potential, and work from there. Okay, so he has Vanguards. This is kind of not bad for me, actually. Unless he knows how to harass with them and keep a safe distance, this is going to go badly for him as soon as I start locking on. Because what is it? At 9,000 units, I have easily a 70% chance to hit with the Chapter Master. Yeah, it's 70% chance to hit at 9,000 units, so no matter what, if I'm good about my positioning, those Vanguard speed and mobility isn't going to do a whole lot.
Repositioning.
I just got to be good at revealing him, and apparently he's not even moving, which is silly of him. Okay, he does have 2 strike cruisers.
Where we are needed. Astartes vessel ready.
So, is he seriously going to do that route? Oh, how cute.
Tactical maneuver engaged.
Well, we're going to take this slow and steady then. Actually, my battle barge is going to get hit, so why not just go in headlong then? Actually, I could turn left easily enough.
I am listening.
Seems like he's overshot this a little bit. If I kept going straight, I'd dodge most of these.
Astartes
And thankfully I have Stormhawks to help shoot these down,
moving to position.
and a reload to rapidly charge myself back up. So let's try for this opening here and trust my dang Stormhawks to start shooting down.
At your command.
Yeah, maybe that was a mistake there, kind of misread their angling,
Position.
but most of them did successfully get shot down.
Ready. Hasten rearming.
So if he's not going to move, then I can freely just reload to get these repairs and all that back up. And I'm in a goddamn gas cloud right now.
I am listening.
What kind of sense does he have to shoot a beacon at me when I'm right next to a gas cloud? He might not even get to reveal me, is the funny thing.
Ready.
So, let's get moving then.
Show us the
I just gotta make sure if I am gonna plan some aggression, I should wait until my lock-on orders back up. So, let's just
Astartes
make things
vessel
really awkward for him by throwing a beacon in on that dang cloud, shall we?
Halt advance.
And I have 1 minute until orders are back up,
Standard
which should be
speed
enough time for the battle barge to get in close.
underway.
And he is boosting. Okay,
I am listening.
so he's gonna reveal me for boarding torpedoes next. I think we know what this play is. Is anyone surprised?
Full speed.
Now, can I board it and just potentially kill it outright? Okay, Thunderhawks are down.
Enemy in sight.
He did get some assault boat successes, but I can easily repair that. And is he gonna run away? I gotta make sure that beacon's placed properly because it looks really weird.
Enemy in sight.
And 10 seconds until my orders are back up. Yep.
The enemy. Repositioning.
So, lock on.
Ready for battle.
Give him what he wants, which is to see what my army is.
Course.
This is not going to be pretty, folks. I just got to be careful of the dang boarding torpedoes, though. Actually, let's start utilizing this focusing thing down.
Targeting protocols.
Start shooting the ships down, one by one.
Show us the enemy.
And now that he's flying away, and one of his ships is set on reload, yeah, this could start doing some damage, so I gotta hope my Stormhawks are up to the task here.
I am listening.
Actually, get these
Full speed.
dang things following through.
Space Marines ready.
And repairs are back up. So keep on moving and hopefully keep on engaging.
We are the chosen of the Emperor.
Because that hunter's already gone. Oh, he's already running away.
Astartes vessel ready.
And we got a slight ram in.
Where we are needed.
And once these ships are gone, I should actually be able to hide in this gas cloud.
Show us the enemy.
The one thing he had going for him is now going to be his greatest weakness. I just gotta make sure
Power to engine.
this hunter dies first, because he's probably going to still commit to having that staying close.
Full speed.
Ooh, that was not pretty, and that was a frigate, I need to remind you. It's got bonuses to getting hit, and it just got pummeled by 4 of them.
Standard speed engaged.
Well, that was very anticlimactic, wasn't it?
Space Marines ready.
Oh yeah, and boarding torpedoes cancel his warp. Okay. Well, all his ships survived, I guess. That's one thing I can give him. So he'll get some experience out of it. Because with level 3 Vanguards, I think he's had a bit of a bad run. Or that's his 4th light cruiser, maybe? Which would be the only reason I can justify him having those at low level.
Party's vessel ready.
I'll let it live. It's just gonna take a while. With the generator down, I don't... Well, he may have already been repaired. Oh well. 2 straightforward wins at least. Eldar was kind of fun there, but very risky and a little bit tense. I don't trust going with 3 vanguards, to be perfectly honest, especially with how easily he could have just countered my torpedoes and Thunderhawks, going with 3 of them. If he had a Void Stalker is what I mean, or even a battlecruiser for that matter, because 3 fighter waves for just one of his ships, let alone 2 battlecruisers if he had both of them, would kind of stop that in its tracks, I want to say. But nonetheless, it was a good run there. Kind of what I expected there, although I wasn't really expecting the vanguards so much. I was kind of expecting 4 strike cruisers there, a little more meat, a little more raw firepower. But at least now I have the upgrades here, but it's still a question. Do I enhance the range here? Because I have the beacon. It seems redundant to have both the extended sensors and the beacon. Just a little bit. The extended array is a little more reliable. So if I were to... Well, what are the alternatives really? I could have bombers for my Thunderhawks, which doesn't sound too terrible for the most part. But with a good chance of getting critical hits and fires and hull breaches, this may not be as potent as it is. Hard to say. And of course, extra mobility could be good, or I could seriously consider going the extra shields for this to possibly use them against Novacans. I don't know if I like that idea because it has lower health points, but it has the higher mobility. And how close is everything else to level 8? Not even close, so probably gonna forfeit that idea for now. Let's see, we'll get the extended sensors. And I'll actually swap out this beacon and put the Stormhawks back on. Just to experiment with that. Because as much as I like the beacons to kind of like initiate an engagement of some kind and force them out of position, like in that gas cloud from against the Space Marines, that I kind of do regret not taking it out, but we'll experiment with it some.